Welcome back. Airborne transmission. It is one of the more common ways COVID-19 is spread. And as more people return to workplaces and classrooms, safe air quality in those indoor spaces, it's so important in protecting families. One of the big concerns educators are expressing: proper air filtration and ventilation in their buildings. Joining us now, Senseware CEO Dr. Serene Al-Momen, to talk about technology that monitors air quality and can detect the viruses, some like COVID-19. So good morning, doctor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. First off, we want to talk about the role of HVAC systems, okay, and the threat that they can pose if they're outdated or not working properly. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so like you said, airborne transmission is a major concern for the transmission of the virus. And one of the most effective ways to remove the virus from the air, if it exists, is through HVAC systems. So how you're ventilating a space, how you're filtering the air become really important, because I think we should definitely plan for the worst and hope for the best. So we have to just expect that someone would have the virus. So the main thing to focus on is how do we remove it as fast as possible, and that's where HVAC plays a major role in that.
Well, tell us about Senseware as well. How does Senseware work? How is Senseware different from other technology like it?
Well, when both the threat is invisible and the measures that we're taking are invisible, how do we know what's working? And that's the main thing that we are addressing with our technology, is that we are bringing real-time visibility on all the aspects and the measures that are taken to remove the virus from the air effectively and make the environment as safe as possible for people to repopulate. And we do that by monitoring, using a lot of different really great sensors that monitor different aspects of air quality. So we have sensors that tell you whether the ventilation is working properly or not, such as CO2 sensors. We have the sensor such as a particle counter that tells you if the filtration is working properly. We have sensors that are biosensors that tells you if there are viruses in the air, toxin spores and things like that. So we use a combination of those sensors and monitor them in real time, so that if there is anything that is not working properly, the operators are alerted and they can address the issue immediately.
Now, I know you have worked in medical facilities and schools and businesses, all shapes and sizes, and technology has played a role in really reopening our economy. I want to know, though, what else some folks out there, whether at work or in school staff, what can folks do or not do to ensure a little more safe air quality?
So that's, again, monitoring the space. So putting an indoor air quality monitors will first let you know what's not working. So creates that baseline. Is the issue and the vulnerability with filtration? Is it with ventilation? And what that is exactly. And then after you know that, then you can address strategically those issues. So one of the measures and strategies that could be deployed is just more ventilation, bringing more outside air, which could dilute the air and reduce the infection and the transmission of the air through airborne. You can also add better filtration strategies, so better rated filters that can really filter small particles in the air. And we want to make sure those small particles are filtered, because they're the ones that linger for a longer period of time. Right. You would update that. And some other simple measures. Some schools, I think in New York, they're opening windows, just to bring outside air and things like that. Those are really good and easy and effective measures to create safer environments in indoor space.
Lots of things folks can do. Dr. Serene Al-Momen, thank you so much for the insight on this topic, CEO of Senseware. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.